What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by AUTOBAHN. My name is Max, and today we are checking out the all-new BMW M2. We are a bit late to the party, but still, you know, it is one of the most highly anticipated BMWs of recent years, and well, I am super curious to see what it is like. It is a couple of things, actually. It is the last BMW M available with a manual gearbox. It's also the last petrol-only BMW M that will be introduced, and probably also the last rear-wheel drive only BMW M that will be introduced. So those are three very important things. So that's, you know, no pressure there for the new M2. It is, yeah, how do I put it? It is a bit of a porker though. It is a bit of a heavy car, and I kind of don't like the beginning. I like the essence of this car, because the last BMW M2 was very successful, one of the best-selling M cars ever. Of course, it was, you know, relatively affordable, easy to get into, not too intimidating, not light, but a lot lighter than this. I don't know, it was based on the 1 Series, of course, and that meant that they could keep cost down and weight down as well. This, however, the new 1 Series, of course, is based on the Mini platform, and it has front wheel drive. So they couldn't really do this on that platform. So what they did is they took a BMW M4 platform basically, or an M3, whatever, and they shortened that. So it is quite a bit shorter than a BMW M4, but it is as wide. So you've got the same suspension setup, you've got stiffer dampers though for the M2, but that means that they're kind of handicapped, you know. It allows them to use all the stuff from a BMW M3 or M4, but it also means that, you know, the car's very heavy. It weighs 1725 kilos, this automatic version. The manual is 25 kilos lighter. But it's just, it weighs exactly the same as an M4 competition. So is that slightly shorter wheelbase enough to make it fun? That is basically what we're going to find out today. I feel like it did not get off to a great start, because, you know, I wished that it would have been a bit lighter and a bit more of an own car. It feels like a smaller M4. Looks wise though, they really tried to set them apart, because it looks completely different. We have this super, well, weird nose. I absolutely love it. I think it looks super cool. The squared off bumpers, the big air intakes down here, which are also squared, and the square like jaw here, which is completely open. The kidneys that don't have a surround, they're just basically in the bumper. And I think it works really well. I think it looks a bit like a little DTM car or something like that from the front. I really dig it. I think it looks super nice. We've got Zandvoort Blue today. This is one of the few options available. You've got Toronto Red, Sapphire Black, Alpine Weiss, Frozen Dark Grey, I think. You've got a Frozen Portimao Blue and Brooklyn Grey as well. I think a darker color works better on the car. I don't know why. I think it makes it a little bit more angry and a little bit more serious. But this is a new color, and it is pretty cool, like a baby blue basically. Wheels and tires, we've got 19s at the front, 20s at the rear. This is also the same setup you get on an M4, for instance. 275 section tire at the front, and behind that we've got M compound brakes. So these are the standard brakes. You can't get ceramic brakes on an M2, which is a shame. Yeah, I mean, given it's exactly the same as an M4, why not offer that as well? I don't really understand that. It would also take a little bit of weight off, of course. And well, it's as heavy as an M4, it goes almost as fast, so why not also add the carbon ceramics? I really don't understand that. I think that is just, yeah. Okay, so we've got nice wide fenders as well. So the like rear arch and front arch, you have like this center part between them, which exaggerates the wideness of it, the squattiness of it, which is really cool. It has like an E30 M3 kind of vibe here to it, that especially that rear arch. Really cool. Carbon fiber roof is optional. You can get an M racetrack pack with the bucket seats, the carbon roof, the race top speed and carbon interior trim. This has all those parts except for the buckets. It does not have the racetrack pack. I'm not sure, maybe they have production issues with the seats again. But you know, definitely get that carbon roof. That is a must in my opinion. So at the rear we've got two 85s, 20-inch as I said. Not sure about that wheel design though. I think it's a bit too, there's a lot going on. Rear design, I do know what I think. I don't really like it. I think it's a bit too busy. It's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit too Kia 1999 for me, I think. That's the kind of vibe I get from it. I do like the diffuser with the 4 big tailpipes, but that rear light design is kind of weird. I don't know what they were... Is that an upside down front LED? That looks like that. That's kind of weird. Okay, yeah, you've got a little spoiler here on the boot lid, and it's quite a nice big boot. It's quite a practical car in that sense. So let's take a look at the engine. Which of course is the S58 3-liter twin turbo straight 6 with, in this car, 460 horsepower and 550 newton meters of torque. So it's the least powerful version of this S58. Basically they didn't change anything on the engine itself. It's just a tuned down version of the M3 and M4 version. So yeah, not bad. 4.1 seconds to 100 for the automatic, 4.3 for the manual. I did 4 seconds flat, so that is pretty respectable. I think you can get it under 4 seconds as well, because the launch control most of the time it kind of bogs down. So if you have warm tires, which I did, but you have like a bit of a smooth tarmac, it kind of still slips. But then I did it over there on that bit later, and it felt a bit better. So definitely below 4 seconds should be possible. Now these are the regular seats, super nice and comfy, although yeah, seating position a bit too high in my opinion. And you know, if you compare them to the buckets, yeah, they just feel like 7 Series seats basically. The buckets mean that you sit lower, you sit more tight, you feel more of what is going on. I really prefer those seats. I think they are magnificent. And then if we check out the interior, I mean, this is also very, very similar to an M4 or an M3. Yeah, it feels the same basically. They did add this like M color thing, and then the triangles are back. What is it with BMW and triangles these days? They are everywhere. It feels like we're getting brainwashed or something. That's very, very strange. I would love to ask someone at BMW why that is. They are on every new model somewhere, and they all like have a different version of it. So sometimes it's on the dash, in the in the vents. Sometimes it's on the doors. Sometimes it's on the windows. It's very strange. I'm not sure what's happening. Anyway, we've got iDrive 8, of course. I keep getting this freaking tire pressure warning in these newer BMWs. It's absolutely horrible. They keep giving me that notification. Nothing is up. Tire pressures are absolutely fine. It's just they keep giving that notification. And then, yeah, we've got carbon trim, carbon pedals, same steering wheel basically as in an M4. See what I mean? And it's not even to bring down the M2. I actually think, like, why would you buy an M4? That's basically already my conclusion. But you have all the same stuff except for the carbon ceramics, and it's you know, it's a bit bigger, a bit more practical, but it's like marginal because who uses those rear seats anyway? So really, why would you buy an M4? I mean, the price difference is not even that big, so in that respect, yeah, why not buy an M4? Because this is very expensive actually. It's like from 115,000 euros in the Netherlands. Let's start it up. It sounds pretty good, I would say. Basically sounds like an M4. So the wheelbase is actually 11 centimeters shorter than the M4's wheelbase. which is quite a lot. And the entire car is even shorter, of course, because the body is also shorter. But I feel like that is the main thing that this car has going for it. It's that shorter wheelbase that really has to sell it, basically, and the lower price maybe. So you can feel that you have a little bit less torque down low compared to an M4. I feel like that is one of the things that they did to limit that power, to tune that power down. Horses, what's up? So yeah, we're going to turn around. Now another thing they did, which is a very good thing, the fake sound is a lot less loud and a lot less idiotic. So the shift sound, there's still that weird sound, but it is, I think it's a tad less loud, but not that much, but it is a bit less obnoxious, annoying. Now, okay, let's do a launch. So basically just foot down and then full throttle, and then let the system get ready. Launch control. Yeah, oh, it hooked up so much better that time. So that's 0 to 100. Honestly, I think it's faster. We're going to do a 0 to 100 measurement right here. See, that was a 4.1 even. I mean, that is proper quick. And that was with a bit of wheel spin. But honestly, I think the car is quite a bit quicker than BMW says. Come on, launch control, please work. Yeah, lock down, see? So it is like it's a very thin line. It's a balance you have to work. And when you work it right, I think sub 4 seconds should be possible. Anyway. So another thing they did, as I said, stiffer springs, but that is only at the front actually. So compared to an M4, you've got stiffer springs at the front and you've got softer springs at the rear. And that is mainly to give you a more agile front end, to give it a better turn in basically. They also changed the steering rack. So this is actually a little bit less quick of a rack, which means that it is actually a bit easier to place it. It is a bit less nervous. It feels a bit more natural. So, at the Autobahn. How does that feel? That feels good. That feels very good actually. So planted. That is of course a benefit of, you know, a bigger car using all those M3 and M4 parts, more weight, is the fact that it feels much more planted. It feels a lot less tricky and leery than the previous M2. That car could feel like a little bit dangerous to drive on the edge or to try and push. This feels, it basically feels like an M4, which is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, honestly. This thing is like more than 200 kilos heavier than the previous M2, which that is kind of ridiculous. 200 kilos, more than 200 kilos. It's also about 100 kilos heavier than a rear wheel drive M240i, which is also pretty significant. Top speed with the M driver spec, 280 kilometers an hour. I think it will do a little bit more than that this is it. This is like the limiter. 290, 293, something like that. 100 to 200, I did an 8.5 second run, which is pretty decent actually. It's quite quick. It's not as quick though as the previous BMW M2 CS we tested, the DCT, but that of course also had carbon ceramic brakes. It's basically the lightest version of that M2 you can get, and it's got 450 horsepower. So yeah, that was bound to be quicker. But 8.5 seconds is not bad. It just, the feeling does not escape me that I'm just driving a slightly smaller M4. Yes, they've made some changes to it. Yes, I think it handles better than an M4. I think it drives better than an M4. It's almost as comfortable and it's more fun, I think. But what is the point? I don't really get the point of making a car that feels so similar in so many ways. It's a really good car. I can't really complain about that. It's just, yeah, it just lacks a personality of its own, and that is a bit of a shame to me. So let's do another little pull from down low. Let's do like third gear. Nicely, it's a quick car. Brakes, really good as well. Braking performance is very good. I have to say, you know, the pedal felt a little bit soft earlier during the Autobahn POV, but nothing major, not really anything to complain there. I have to say, you know, I do prefer carbon ceramics because braking performance just stays the same for longer, the pedal stays the same for longer, and it's much lighter, but these brakes are not bad. So that's it. A lot to think about, a lot to think about. I feel like I've given you a lot to think about as well, but I've done that for myself too. So a bit of a chaotic review. I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Thanks so much for watching. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle so you don't miss any of our uploads. You can check out this video on the right or this playlist on the left. See you the next one, guys. Bye.